Hello, Twin Flames. All right, let's do a reading. Okay, so Divine Feminines. We're going to take those, but the energies have been whack today. Absolutely whack. Lots of anxiety, lots of, just lots of stress too, okay? But there's growth here, all right? There's growth and getting free. This is about getting free from the ways in which we hold ourselves back that are stopping us from accessing this ultimate happiness and fulfillment with our Divine Masculine. Yeah. And the ways we can't see. There's an opportunity to see the things we couldn't see before that are keeping us stuck. Okay. The Lovers, not surprising. The Nine of Wands. Queen of Wands, Three of Cups, Three of Wands, Six of Wands, Seven of Cups. All right, give me a minute to just tune into these energies and I'll be right back. Okay, interestingly enough, when I was just meditating on this energy and just allowing, I guess, channeling, allowing things to come through, London Bridge by Fergie came to mind. And as I'm looking this up, this is about sex. But this is more about the Divine Feminine and how the Divine Feminine doesn't feel worthy of being desired by her Divine Masculine in that way. The Divine Feminine here has been waiting. This is for Divine Feminines who their Divine Masculine isn't very forthcoming with wanting to engage with them sexually. They do, but not often. And this is bringing up a lot of issues around worth for the Divine Feminine. And in Twin Flame fashion, that's how it's meant to be. Because if the Divine Masculine were to come through and be this way and validate the Divine Feminine sexually, the Divine Feminine in this situation would be relying solely, I'm just realizing there we go, relying solely on that validation from her Divine Masculine. And this is bringing up those issues of feeling unworthy and undesired and unwanted, so that it can be addressed. This is something that you will overcome, Divine Feminine, and I know that it's really difficult right now. I know it's feeling really, really tough right now, and you're very confused. You're very confused with the fact that your Divine Masculine can desire you, but not want to express that to you, and not want to engage with you in that way right now, or all the time. Only sometimes. That doesn't make any sense to you. And that's simply because there's a part of you, a big part of you, that has relied on validation through being sexually desirable to other men or other people in your past. That's how you got validation that you were worthy of love. Now, this is a hard one because I feel like you're getting quite tangled up in the fear that this is how it will be. Like, this will be an ongoing issue in your connection or relationship with your Divine Masculine. And I'm here to tell you that it will be, as long as you continue to, essentially what I'm saying is it will be an issue in this relationship for you the longer that you turn away from the actual problem, which is the validation and the gratification. But as I said, remember, there's growth here and there's happiness here. This is something you'll overcome, but you're very confused because you're focusing on what this means for the divine masculine. And it's interesting because what this means for the divine masculine is the same thing that it means for you. Perhaps they don't feel worthy of love unless they are giving sexually to you, or they feel like the only thing that they have to offer, they worry that the only thing that they have to offer is their body, which is really interesting for a divine masculine to go through this, but and so it's the opposite, where that for you draws you in because you want that validation. For them, they want the validation that they can be loved and they deserve love regardless of sex in the relationship or connection. So for them, they shy away from it because to them, engaging in it brings up the trigger of them only being worth that. And for you, you go towards it because the absence of it triggers your worth issues, where unless you have it. So they're relying on the lack of it to feel worth, and you're relying on the presence of it to feel worthy. That's very interesting, but there's the mirroring. Don't try to look for confirmation of this. This is confirmation enough, and that makes the most sense. What else do we have? Yeah, the Ten of Wands, Nine of Swords, Temperance. There is huge imbalances here when it comes to this, and there's a lot of trauma surrounding that for both of you. So this is something that needs to be released, and it's just getting too much of a burden to hang on to. So this is why it's coming up, and it's been like this for a long time. It's come up continuously for a long time. So you need to, your work here, Divine Feminine, is to balance this out by, you can have that validation that your soul is seeking, but you need to be looking for it elsewhere. It doesn't mean that you can't ever experience being desired sexually by your divine masculine or anything like that. It just means that you're not solely relying on that. And a lot of us are subconsciously relying on that. We're not realizing that it's very much a subconscious thing, but it's causing a lot of stress and anxiety for the both of us. So the divine masculine is being urged to move towards it, to be proven that isn't And it's interesting too, because the divine masculine in this connection only feels safe to engage in that when they feel like they are loved without that aspect. So the more emotionally accepted and loved and nurtured and held and embraced without it having to be sexual that they are in this connection, the more that they want, or they feel safe enough to bring that aspect into it. And for you, Divine Feminine, the more that you feel desired by your Divine Masculine physically, the sweeter that emotional intimacy is for you. This is very interesting. We're definitely gonna do a part 2 on this. But there's a lot of layers to this. But this is currently what's being worked out between the two of you right now. So every time, Divine Feminine, you feel that trigger, you feel that worry or that fear that you're going to be missing this forever. This is going to be lacking in your relationship or your connection or your union with your Divine Masculine. That is a prompt for you to seek that validation in other ways. Through yourself, if you can. Question that. Start questioning. Ask your spirit guides to show you where you can get that validation. A lot of you, it's going to be creative endeavors. So a lot of you, it's going to be creative endeavors in which you seek or get this validation from yourself. Think back to a time when sexual validation was off the table for you. For a lot of you, not all of you, but for a lot of you, it's going to be when you were single, because for a lot of this collective, that's not something, you're not interested in sexual validation when you're single because you're not actively in connection with somebody. Think back to a time when sexual validation wasn't on the table, wasn't a thing that you needed or craved in order to feel something. And for a lot of you, this is a deep wound that you didn't think existed. You didn't think that you had an issue with needing sexual validation in your connections, because for a lot of you, it's something that you always had, because you would attract partners that would sexually validate you. And the reason that your divine masculine isn't, right? Wherever you feel there's a big gap or something missing in your connection with your divine masculine, that is something that is actively going to be healed through this connection. So it doesn't mean it's never going to be there and you're going to have to advocate for your needs and leave them. That could be for some of you, but for a lot of you, it's not necessarily. A lot of you, that's the fear that this is something that's just going to be missing and it's something that can't be compromised on. I want to ask why. For some reason, I really want to ask why this is such an issue for the divine masculines. Why is it? What is the question I want to ask with that? Why does this collective of divine masculines shy away from? It's interesting because it's almost as if the divine masculines here feel like they are being sexually objectified, or maybe they have been throughout their life. And this might not be something that you're, aware of. This isn't something, I don't even think it's something that they're aware of. It's just an adaptation to what is it? Queen of Cups. Judgment. Death. This is balancing of the masculine and feminine energies. This particular cycle that's happening between the two of you, this is a battle of your divine feminine, your masculine energy, and their feminine energy. This is where it needs to be balanced, come into balance. This is where you need a healthier balance of feminine energy when it comes to sacral. And they need a healthier balance of their masculine energy when it comes to their sacral. Why do they feel like they can't or shouldn't have, can't or shouldn't be having sex? Because it makes them feel like that's all they're good for, or they don't feel comfortable having sex unless they have that element of emotional intimacy. What is with that? Three of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Three of Swords. Give me one sec. So I feel intuitively, I feel like this is them feeling like they have more to offer simply than that. What caused them to feel this way? Ten of Wands. Queen of Wands. There was expectations or something in childhood when it came to things of physical nature. So not necessarily sexually, but providing something. It's almost like, as much as your divine masculine may seem like they don't seek emotional intimacy and emotional connection above all else, that really is what they do seek. And in order to feel safe to share their bodies with you, divine feminine, they have to feel like their needs are met because emotionally, because they, okay, so I don't know where it was when it cut off because I got a low battery thing, but basically I went down the rabbit hole and I was really asking what makes this group of divine masculines feel like they want to be intimate. And it's Three of Pentacles, working toward a common goal, working towards something together. Nine of Pentacles. Are we surprised when they feel satisfied with their life, when they feel fulfilled, wish fulfillment? So when they feel as though there's a lot of material gratification. Are we surprised? It's like very divine masculine of them. Material satisfaction, material gratification makes them feel accomplished. When they feel accomplished, it makes them adventurous. It knocks them out of this like stoicism and allows them to let loose and have fun. Why do they not feel worth that just on an average day? Queen of Swords. Three of Cups. Page of Pentacles. There's something about not having anything worth celebrating or worth... It's really strange to me. Seven of Cups, Ten of Swords, Judgment, Nine of Wands, the Hermit. There's something, because their worth is tied to their material accomplishments, material success, material gain. So when they are gaining something and they feel that they have something to celebrate or something that is worth celebrating, that really makes them feel worthy. And that worthiness then allows them to feel good about themselves. Makes them feel worthy of love. So, okay, so the advice here is that there is a new beginning here for the both of you that is allowing you both to walk a new path and discover this aspect of yourself where you're holding yourself back, and allowing you guys to really enjoy the connection in a new adventurous way. So whatever new beginnings are coming your way, divine feminine, continue down that path. It's a new path. Some of you are starting new jobs. I'm starting my new job tomorrow. This is really going to open up a lot for both of you. So wherever you are gaining newness, your divine masculine is also gaining a new sense of freedom too. Okay, and it's freedom from your need for validation that has really held you both back. The Divine Masculine is getting the opportunity to realize that they are worth all of the attention and affection, physical and emotional, regardless of their accomplishments. This is really, really good, guys.